showing no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Single back formation, and they give it to him. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to fire. He's got it down the middle. And they bring him down quickly, but a good gain there.
Early in the game as a DB, I'm settling in. It's okay if I give up 4, 6, 7 yards. I'm just trying to get settled in, gauge the speed, and then later on, I can adjust to the speed of the game.
Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on third down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
Caught in the backfield, it's Taylor.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
The give out of the gun. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
You just need more from your offensive line. Second and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it. But the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop. And now you set up third down. And this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to. And instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball, man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it. The moment the ball left his hand.
Good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38.
I would feed this guy. Listen, I can run RPOs all I want, but I just need to know if it's a tie, give it to this guy. He'll make plays. He's got speed. He'll hit the hole. He's a physical runner, so I keep feeding this guy for sure.
It's first and 10 from the 38-yard line. Pocket breaking down. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Baylor.
We thought we might see some of this. They'll go to the Wildcat formation here. Gets the back moving. On the snap, it's Lagway. Caught near the sticks, it's Reed. Flying out to the left. Touchdown, Baylor! Once he got a step, it was all over, right to the house.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick.
5, no attempt at a return. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
It's so difficult because my eyes tell me as a defensive guy, he's handing it off. The offensive line's blocking run. I got to go get it. The quarterback pulls it, throws it to the right. It's kind of like that hidden hat game. Like, where's the ball? I'm always trying to find that guy.
Not much he could do there. Does pick up 2 to the 34.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. He took a hit as he couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Quickly complete. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
That tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. 4th down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. And you can see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
He wants to throw it again. Might be looking to run. Gets rid of it. Punts it out of the air. At the 40, there he goes. Taken out of bounds after a good pickup there. They're in striking distance at the 37.
And this quarterback wasn't thinking about taking off and running with that one. He was outside the pocket, but he kept his eyes down the field. He kept reading the coverage. He was surveying to find an open target. Accurate throw, and they get the first down.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
They're looking at a 3rd down and short from the 33. From the gun, wants to pass. Forced out of the pocket. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
If I'm the play caller right here, I'm a little bit frustrated. And I say that because I can't take a sack here. A sack might take 3 off the board for me. I got to understand the situation. I got to get the ball out. Try to make a play, but most importantly, don't make a negative play.
They kick it away on 4th down. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. They'll get this drive started from the 29. Looking for a crease to the left. There he goes. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big time pickup on that one.
It's so nice as an offense to know you can generate explosive plays by handing the football off to this guy. He has got incredible speed.
You open a drive like that, and the entire playbook opens up on 1st down from the 44. Here's the heat. Quarterback now breaking the field. Got out of trouble and throws. Makes the grab along the sidelines, but it'll be a little short of the 1st down.
Well, there's an example of the quarterback just creating on the fly, because I think that was supposed to go to the running back on a screen, and he just saw an open guy downfield and said, I don't know, I'm just going to throw it down to this dude. He's wide open. I know it's not how we drew it up, but we'll take it.
To throw, it's Lagway. Flips it out on the screen. Nice move there. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
And it is well blocked as they pick up enough for a first down.
This offense has become a first down machine, and that is so demoralizing for the defense, especially for those star players that are playing tons of snaps. They're not subbing out as much. By the fourth quarter, they're going to be gassed.
Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Give to the running back. And a good pickup there. They'll move the sticks for a first down. Let's see if they try to get another snap before the quarter expires. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter.
7, Texas Tech, 0.
So after the break, they'll go back to work. Here comes the option. He's pulled down after a tough run, gets it to the 6.
Nice job by this defense playing assignment football. Somebody has to have the quarterback, somebody has to have the pitch, and most importantly, when you get there, you got to get him on the ground. Nice job tackling by this defense.
Looking for room, it's Tatum. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown Bears! Effective offense, aiding the way here in establishing this lead.
And that's why you draw it up, right? You want to come out, be quick and early, get everything going, want to get all the facets rolling. The defense right now on their heels, they have no answers. The offense doing whatever they want.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of...
Turning it on! A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on the field.
Off the boot, looking for his man. Makes the grab. It's Joyner. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. From the gun. Give on the inside. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create 2nd and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
Goes to the option. And the ball is free on the pitch. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and the offense very lucky to keep possession on that one.
That ball carrier is very lucky. That easily could have ended up in the hands of the defense. You have got to do a better job of ball support. situation, you're just playing a big zone. You want everybody having their eyes on the quarterback, playing in their areas, and you want them rallying to the football. As soon as that running back got the ball, they all came screaming in. They were able to make the tackle and now set up fourth.
Really good job there. Don't force anything. Take your time, and he finds his man for the first down.
Yeah, and I think really good job by seeing the defense. Understand that they're dropping back. They're taking away most things. All right, get the ball to my running back. He can make plays after he catches it. Nice job by the quarterback seeing the situation and where to go with the football.
Trying to hit the sideline on the right. And he's going to lose yardage. He was looking everywhere for just a little grass and a little air, and none to be found. No running room on that play. What a good job by the defense to stay disciplined and string that play out.
They did a really good job with their eyes there, Reese, and they were able to get the ball carrier going east and west, and as you mentioned, just ran out of room, had to run out of bounds.
The Red Raiders now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Tight end now in motion. Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake. Oh, it's picked off. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football. He's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. They've come out smoking with touchdowns on each of their first two drives, and they're back to work now. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
That is a great play by the defensive end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting in the backfield, making the play.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Quickly to the tight end. He snagged him, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play.
It's so important that this offense is able to stay on schedule. And what that means is keeping third downs manageable. That last completion to the tight end accomplished just that. Really nice play call.
And the Bears come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Quarterback extends the play. The throw. He's got an open man. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
Throws a nice completion there for a first down. This guy has been the biggest key to this team's success all season long. He's shown up in big moments. He's won big games. He's putting up big numbers, and that's why he's in the discussion to win the Heisman Trophy.
To the air. It's Lagway. Got it in the middle. It's Hudson. Good pickup, but a little bit short of the sticks. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. The Bears can really attack on this 2nd and short. Wants to throw it. Fires left. He caught it. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Baylor! They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10.
And you always want to get the home crowd jacked up and get them excited. Get out to an early lead, and they have 20-0. Defense playing well. Offense playing well. They got a lot to cheer about here at home.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Wants to throw on first down. Finds the tight end. And that had all the makings of guard meet windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first. And the Red Raiders with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Got it behind the line. It's Joyner. They'll make the stop, but not before they use the screen beautifully and pick up the first down. They've been overwhelmed so far in this first half, but if they could muster a score, maybe a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and I know it's been a struggle. They've been struggling this.
Breaks into the open. And he was off to the races, finally tripped up at the 36.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays.
Always a welcome play from the defense as they get a sack at the 47. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Now facing second and long after the defense came up with that sack. Wants to go up top. Good timing on the quick out. And the defense wrestles him to the ground. The Red Raiders moving quickly to the line. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Got a man. It's Lockwood. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Caught in the backfield. It's Taylor. Touchdown, Red Raiders! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
Number 3.
We needed that. They needed to punch the ball in the end zone. They needed to cut this to a 2-score game, and they needed some positive momentum. Something going well, something to point to at half to say, guys, we got a chance. That drive, they put it together. Nice job by this offense.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25.
Exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup. It's
a fumble. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
Man, it's so hard to keep a rabbit in the cage, that quarterback, right? He's going to scramble around. He's going to make plays, and when he gets outside the pocket, you're just trying to get a hand on him. How about getting a hand on him, forcing the fumble, and recovering it? Great job by the defense continuing to chase that QB.
And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
And the completion to the sideline, a solid pickup, but not enough for the first down. He'll be run out of bounds, but there is a flag on the play. Here comes the offense on second down. Back to pass. Grabbed over the middle. It's Taylor. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a third and long. This one from the 44. The sweet feet buy a little time. Fires downfield. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
This is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're fourth and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
They're throwing for it on fourth down. And the incomplete pass, they roll the dice. Snake eyes.
Well, I knew the coach was confident in his offense. I did not know he was that confident this early in the game. Fourth and long. I thought he'd just punt that one away and let his defense take the field. Interesting.
looking downfield. It's Lagway. Going for the big play. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. And the Red Raiders will kick it off to start the second half. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. Few things on offense as reliable as a tough power back as he plows his way ahead to the 33.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Stopped at the 44, but he got 10 on the play.
You know, good running backs are the ones that can make things happen in small spaces. That running back there found his lane, he found his crease, and there was no hesitation. He got north right away and was able to make a big-time play.
Makes it past the marker. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks for the first down.
Well, this is an offense that has a lot of speed, and they have different guys they would love to get the football to in space, and they can find a lot of different ways to do that. I love the idea of going option here and trusting your quarterback to make the right read. If no one accounts for the pitch, man, he's going to get it to the outside, and you see the speed on the perimeter. Really clever play call that time by the O coordinator.
With that last catch, he now breaks the 1,500-yard mark for his career.
And that's a pretty good accomplishment, man. Hitting 1,500 yards, that speaks to your consistency, your durability, and your playmaking ability, Palmer, to consistently make plays. Because when you got those guys, as a quarterback, you find them.
It's pretty nice. 1,500 yards, obviously a great number. The cool thing about him, though, he doesn't care about the stats. This guy just wants to win week in, week out. He's hungry, and he's made plays throughout his career.
After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. Quarterback making adjustments. Looking to throw, it's Lagway. Buys a little time. Shoots it to the left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21. And the Bears come to the line with a new set of downs. Wants to throw again. Quick strike complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Late in the year, this guy is square in the middle of the Heisman Trophy discussion because of his performance. He throws a nice completion there for a first down, but it's been week in, week out. Big moments. He's led this team to a ton of wins. He is their best.
Touchdown Bears! And they take it in for 6 more points. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Paul.
I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They're looking at a 21-point hole. There's still time to do some work, but there's also no time to waste. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
And that run really didn't go anywhere, and a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Pulls and fired complete. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down. They didn't quite get that route run deep enough to pick up the 1st down. Now they've got a 4th and short.
And I think everybody at home tends to yell at their television set, why aren't you getting past the 1st down marker? Why did you run your route short? Defense did a good job knowing where that was, but now, 4th down, offense has to make a decision.
Fires on the move. And the incomplete pass lets this defense get the ball back for its own in great field position.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. There have been few obstacles for this offense as they are starting to pull away here in the 2nd half, Jesse.
And this has been a dream game for this play caller, too, right? It's like anything that he's calling is working flawlessly.
Yeah, it's fun to be the offensive coordinator, but not the defensive coordinator. They have had no answers. It's been an absolutely miserable day trying to solve the riddle of this offense.
He makes the tackle at the 37. It's a pickup of 5. That's good enough for a 1st down. Pass completion moves the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Gonna run it. It's Tatum. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Love the job by the defense here with their eye discipline. That's an RPO. It can be tricky to locate the football, but they found the running back quickly. Those linebackers and DBs really came screaming down to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
The Bears with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking to throw, it's Lagway. Makes a catch. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
Love the play by the defense. They just did a good job understanding where the running back was on that play. After the catch, they're able to make the tackle right away, and now they've set up 3rd down.
They'll turn to the Wildcat to keep this drive alive. On the direct snap, it's Hudson. Quarterback strolling away from Heath. He'll try to do it himself. The stop is made right at the 36-yard line. The defense coming up big on 3rd down. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. And he's going to have to get into this football. This is a 53-yard attempt. He gets a hand on it, it's blocked. He's got the ball, and it's live.
I mean, if you're on defense, finally something good happens. It just hasn't been a great day. You've been giving up a ton of yards. You've given up some points. At least you get this field goal block. And listen, for coaching staffs, you got to find silver linings in games like this to get your team back on the field next time playing their best.
Good field position here as they start this drive from their 43. He's stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying and have had very little success.
I got to be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop it.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the 2nd half.
He ended up losing yardage on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I don't really have the words to describe this eloquently. I just know that he's going the wrong way.
With a double-digit deficit here in the second half, they're going to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. The decision to go for it does not pan out.
And sometimes the best defense is getting a little bit lucky. He was open. He had a chance to make a play. He just drops it through his hand. It was pretty good defense, but you take those breaks when you can get them.
Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. They had this thing in a hammerlock at halftime, and now they are really ratcheting up the pressure, David. Oh, he's got some space. Pass the 10. Touchdown, Baylor! Excellent pass by the back on the option.
And the big play starts with the quarterback making the right decision, getting the defense to come to him, pitching the football, and Jesse, the running back, catches it and does the rest.
He does, and he also had good blocking downfield, too. Some of those receivers outside helping him out, but, man, with his speed when he's on the perimeter, the options executed that well, it is virtually impossible to stop.
And no chance at a return. Here they'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Motion from the wideout. Off the play fake on first down. Caught behind the line. It's Taylor.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in the pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking to buy time. He'll throw it. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense, pressuring the quarterback.
One final play before the end of the quarter. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Gets it out quickly. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. That's the end of the quarter, and it's Baylor holding the edge. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. Rolls and fires complete. There he goes. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And I'm just not sure where to put the blame. And I know they're going to lose this football game. They've struggled, and he's been sacked. I know he's turned it over and thrown an interception, but they haven't been in sync, and nobody's played really great, and they've got to find an identity on this offense moving forward.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Right on the money. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, his coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Wants to throw again. Bringing the heat. This one's complete.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. like you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
The Red Raiders are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over it. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the 4th quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't hook it all the way in. Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. They'll go to the ground. Turning it on. Gets it to the 46-yard line. 1st down for this offense.
Big reason why his team has the lead right now late is because of his performance running the football. Well over 100 yards in this game. They knew that they were going to have to really put a lot of pressure on him. He'd have to shoulder the load, and he has delivered for his offense all game long.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them, because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
Got him downfield. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
An outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That 1st down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the dub.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
And the Bears come to the line needing just inches for the 1st down. Trying to pick it up on the ground. Just across the 20 with a 1st down at the 19.
And that's so tough as a defense because they only got to get inches. But I got to find a way to somehow get a knockback, stop the running back's feet right there. I couldn't do it. He gets downhill just enough, and he gets the 1st down.
It's a good job, too, there on 3rd down by the offense, because a major statistic in football in terms of winning and losing is how good are you at staying on the field, keeping drives alive. Whether it's 3rd and long or 3rd and inches, you just have to go execute. They do it.
Just steamrolling the defense. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a 1st down. And while the game is all but decided, why not try to get another one if you can? That's part of the fun, right? They'll try to pound their way in. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
And it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions running so deep. Like, you sometimes get overzealous. Sometimes you get too many penalties. It's hard to rein in your emotions, but they did. They kept it in check, and